Right then, here we go. Another video of production line. I've got this paused on set to play while I talk. So this is the first video that we've done since like pre-orders have actually been live. Oh, ooh, I should just pick something at random for now. And loads of people are playing the game, which is excellent. Thank you to everyone who has pre-ordered. So I'm going to go through the stuff that we've done since that I've done since the last week. There's a few like little silly bug fixes, like you don't launch windows like this when you don't want them if you're click dragging, stuff like that. There was a bug in supply stockpiles that's been fixed. Various things to do with save games. We have autosave and it would kick in at the wrong time and it would corrupt things, and it doesn't do that now. Autosave should work fine. If you had a really big game, like really bigger than this kind of game, it would sometimes cause problems. When you're looking here at the chart, sometimes you would have no income even though you did. Stuff like that. And also sometimes you wouldn't be able to save a really big game. Now you can do that, that's all fixed. We have some new things. Yeah, it's mostly bug fixes, but we do have some new things. One of those things, let me find an example if I go somewhere interesting. If I click here, this is fit exhaust. Now when we request new resources, you'll see them highlighted there in red, and you'll see them coming in. In fact, we can see loads of stuff going here. Where's that all going to? That's going there. So you can see where your resources are coming from, which is quite important, because at the moment the path that resources take from importers to their final destination is very simple. It literally always goes to the nearest one in terms of the length of the actual route. Now obviously you might not want that, because that might be really busy. If there's a huge queue here and one just slightly along, you'd like to kind of interleave between the two, and that's something I am going to work on and I am going to add. But at the moment, if only to help with my debugging, it's quite handy to be able to see where all the resources are, where they're coming from. I also fixed a number of bugs. If I can go to something with multiple things in. Sometimes this area here in the stockpile would get corrupted and stuff would go wrong. We had a few other things that have been fixed recently here, in that there was some stuff that you couldn't research, or you'd research it and then you wouldn't be able to select it and stuff like that. That should all be fixed now. So it's mostly been a matter of just fixing bugs. The big bug that affected quite a few people, and I think is the cause of most of the bug reports on our forums, was to do with resources just never showing up. So for example, here we have a bunch of resources going along. Let me just see if I can show you a really good example of it. Like that there, that was a bit quick to show it, but you see what I'm doing is I'm stopping resources getting somewhere, and previously that would have caused an absolute catastrophic bug. See these fuel tanks coming along here? I can highlight them. There you go, there's the fuel tanks being delivered. Now what used to happen is if you deleted that link, see that fuel tank there, it now actually deletes, and it will try and get there another way. So if I then do this, does that connect? It must connect somewhere to something. When we actually, there you go, they're coming from here. Now previously that was a bug and it wouldn't happen, so that those resources would be left in limbo. So resources would never show up. Autosave, excellent. And that was called absolute mayhem. It doesn't sound like that bad a bug, but it's actually catastrophic in terms of the whole game would just kind of like freeze up and not work. So that's fixed, and hopefully that fixes a whole bunch of problems, and we can sort of concentrate on sort of features and expanding the game, and hopefully we don't have so many bugs out there. I should remind you that if you are playing the alpha, we do have a topic on the forum, which is what should the development priorities be, and if I look at them, bring that back, because they have been bugs, which is obviously not ideal. I want to think I've got a buggy game. So currently the top priority is bug fixing and stability, which hopefully this is addressing quite a bit. And the next one is business features, and then a better tutorial, then tech tree expansion. So business features is like a huge area, and I'm not quite sure what people would like to see next. Marketing is this whole area that I want to sort of set aside and do really well at some other point. I think that this whole area of setting prices for cars and seeing how quickly they sell or don't sell is something that I need to fix, because it's far too easy to set a really high premium on it at the moment. The game is too easy. I have too much money there. Another area kind of relating to this is to do with like production efficiency. It is possible for me to sort of analyze all this in code and say the efficiency of your layout is X%. It's possible to do that with individual cars as well, and I wonder if people are interested in me doing that yet, and like identifying the most efficient and least efficient slots on the production line, stuff like that, or whether or not you are more concerned about stuff like sort of business loan and that kind of business side of it. Because I wasn't that clear when I sort of did it. I just put down like business features. Is that marketing? Is that like sort of process optimization? I don't know. But anyway, all comments on like where you would like to see the game go are most welcome, because otherwise you end up with my priorities, which would be like realistic lighting and stuff like that, which I enjoy working on, and more optimization. The game seems to be running pretty fast. I know there's areas that I can optimize. So if people do start hitting performance problems, it's the leaf it with any luck. Even with the really big factories, I mean, like, this is tiny, really. So anyway, this remains production line. Hopefully it's in a much better state than it was when the first few people started playing alpha, and I appreciate everyone who's playing a game in this state, because obviously it's not final GUI, it's not final music, it's not final sounds. And the tech tree is nowhere near the size that it eventually will be. But I'm very interested to know what people's priorities are and what they would like to see. Hopefully, when I do this video next week, that sort of priority of bug fixing will be way down, because I think that was the big thing that was causing absolute mayhem. We have a few visual things like this that's been drawn backwards, but you know, we'll fix that at some point. That's kind of not a major thing. All I'm really worried about is crashes and things that stop you playing the game, or stuff that stops you loading and saving and stuff like that. And that is the priority right now. Hope you enjoy the game. If you do enjoy the game, you know, please tweet about it. Please tell your friends. We're not really doing any sort of press, so it's purely word of mouth. Purely word of mouth. Right now, and it seems to be enormously popular. Also, if you are a YouTuber, I mean, I say it everywhere, but just so it's absolutely clear, we're not sending out loads of copies to YouTubers yet. But if you are in on the sort of pre-orders and alpha, yeah, you can put videos up on YouTube of you playing the game and doing Let's Plays now. You know, I don't know why people would try and stop people doing that. You know, and that's most welcome, and it's interesting to watch people play the game and how they play it. Thank you for watching. This is Production Line by Positech Games. I am Lipsky. You can pre-order this game for $10 right now from us. Thank you. See you next week.